Hi everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about A24's film I Saw the TV Clip. I'm usually a person that does like huge deep dives of things, but I was just seeing like really surface level things all over TikTok and Reddit. I was like, this looks like something I want to see. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's life changing, whatever. I go into the movie and I get out of the movie and I'm like, what did I just fucking watch? But I don't stop there. I say, let's continue deep diving into this. As a post movie viewer. And as I was doing that, I started to realize, hey, this is actually something that I've been struggling with for months. And just because it wasn't put out into my interpretation of art and how I would interpret or like create art to describe the feeling, it doesn't mean that it's not the same thing. Because I then went on to see this TikTok, which I will put up here, the wording of it, talking about how it's like being buried alive and knowing that there's a version of you that exists out there and you wish that you could be that part of yourself, but you feel so far removed from it. And after reading that, I was like, wait, this is something that I've been experiencing forever. um I've recently been like experiencing like a quarter life crisis. When I saw that TikTok today and when I was thinking back to the movie, I was like, oh shit, it's like 20 years later, and at the end of the movie, I don't really like want to fully spoil it, but he's apologizing to everybody around him for how much shame he feels. And it's like nobody around him was ever asking for that, or nobody around him ever saw how much pain he was in because he was holding on to it for so long that he felt like he couldn't grow anywhere because he felt like everybody around him could see the shame that he held on to. And there's a moment in the movie where he can basically like feel all the memories and feel all the people and potential that he could have been, and he just like let himself be stuck because he was so scared to move forward. It's this feeling that we think that we're broken, right? We think that there's so many parts of us that have gotten lost along the way that we can't put them together. It's that feeling of coming to know yourself and to coming to know what strength you have left in you to bring those parts together and to like actually be able to leave some parts behind, because not everything has to come with you into the future. You have to come face to face with the fact that like this is your life and you are creating it at all times. I'm not saying no hippie bullshit like you're creating your life, your words makes it. No, it's just like the like mental illness can really cause us to enter this like shame based reality where everything feels like anything else could be better. All these parts of you have been dying to come out, and they're right there, right at the surface, and you're ready to make that next move. And then it's just that criticism suppresses it, and that shame suppresses it. And there's times where it just comes and it builds up to the surface, and you just have to acknowledge it for what it is. That need to stay in comfort, because the more that you address all of the time that has passed and everything, it builds more shame. Like it's like this constant, never ending cycle where, oh, I want to do things, but I feel more shame that I haven't been doing things for so long and all these years have passed. And it's like, it keeps surfacing and surfacing and you can't fucking acknowledge it. And it's so fucking painful. It's so painful. It's like this shame cycle that never fucking stops. And you're just going through it over and over and over again in your mind, and you're rotting away in your bed, and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? Nobody is seeing me the way that I'm seeing myself. Why do I see myself as such an ugly person, unworthy of love? Why do I see myself as such an ugly person, unworthy to just make it somewhere in my life? Who told me that? Me! Like that feeling of thinking that you know who you are, but there's so much space for you to grow, and you know that it's necessary to grow, but it's just like constantly being overshadowed by what's comfortable, what can get me like through the day, and maladaptive daydreaming the day before. Like it's normal to have these realizations all the time. Like I'm consistently fucking having these realizations and then consistently laying in my bed for months. I've only started to do stuff now, and like I'm turning 25, and it's like I've had so many opportunities to grow, and because of my own shame and my own anger towards myself, I've punished myself for years. I got into so many different addictions, so many terrible relationships. I've let people talk me down to place where I felt powerless, and I've let myself be overpowered by that feeling. And it's like, what the fuck? Watching that movie and then like after seeing that TikTok, like it is like that. Like you're living a false reality, and you know that there's like a version of you out there that is so full of power and so full of life and so full of love and all these experiences, and is able to make all of these stories for themselves. But because you're allowing yourself to suffer and like live day by day in the same routines and stuff, and not taking that like step forward to be like, yeah, you know what, I think I gotta get my shit together. I spent a lot of my life masking for other people, and um choosing what was comfortable for me, choosing the options that kept me in spaces where I was sad, and kept me in spaces where, because I've always been very comfortable in my sadness and very comfortable in that feeling of like, um, what I've been told my whole life, like, oh, you're weird, you're this, yeah. But now I'm like embracing my weird, and I'm like enjoying it, and something about that is like slowly starting to free me from this like mental prison. Like, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep trying, and I'm gonna do a million things. And even though I'm gonna have my very fucking difficult days, I want to be able to like combine that dream version of myself with my reality. Like, I want to do things that make me passionate, and I want to experience love and passion for myself, to be able to like fully integrate everything that I want to be and who I am into one being, and to just really experience life and love in a different way. To not feel shame for who I am, and to not feel like I'm a burden to the people around me for how I feel. I've always felt that way, and I just like, I'm kind of tired of it. And that whole feeling of like curing that void with isolation, and curing that void with like rewatching the same million shows over and over again. Shout out to Grassy. Shout out Jersey Shore. These are all things that I'm still going to continue to do, but I just don't want to like get caught up in those feelings, losing myself to a version that um, is scared to grow up. I just want to appreciate instead of being held captive by that feeling of nostalgia. I just want to be able to appreciate everything for what it was and what it has been and what it was for me at certain times in my life, and to watch something and appreciate it, and listen to music and appreciate it without being constantly consumed by it, and the memories that follow it, and um, the memories that were shared with it. And I just want all these parts of my life to come together into this beautiful person that I am today and who I'm becoming, and not who I've been, or getting caught up in an identity of who I was and not knowing who I am, so just sticking to that identity. I just want to be everything that I've ever loved in one body, if that makes sense. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. I know my interpretation is different than other people's interpretations of the movie, but I really feel like this movie, um, after the fact, spoke to me. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you loved this video, but it was really nice to like finally take some time after, journal about it, kind of understand it, be like, oh yeah, okay, we're on the same page. We just had different interpretations, and that's just life. Thank you for watching. Hope you love this video. Bye!